Today's Photoshop lesson is learning how to cut out a subject and replace the background. It's called Hannah on Holiday because we're going to take our main subject and change her location. First, go to Photoshop, then go to your name, then Commercial Photography 1, then Photoshop Lessons. Under Photoshop Lessons, the folder you have already, it's called Cutout Hannah. And we're going to remove her from this background. There are a number of ways to do that. The easiest way in a perfect world is to go to Select Subject. And if you have enough contrast between your subject and the background, this works pretty well. You're going to see that it has selected her and very little else. And I could easily just cut her out and replace her or move her to a different background. Let's say, though, when you're doing your own part of the assignment where you pick your own two pictures, that it doesn't work that well. Let me show you a different way. To unselect anything, it's Control D or deselect. Another way is to choose the fourth tool on the toolbar, click and hold it down until you see Quick Selection Tool. Then with your mouse, paint over your subject, and if you get a little too much or not enough, up here at the top of the screen, this is add more and take away, plus and minus the selection area. So if I wanted to click the minus and get rid of this space between her arm and the camera, get rid of this space right here, I can. Oops, I've actually gotten rid of some of her shirt. I can go back and add it with the plus symbol. You can go back and forth. It does not have to be perfect on this first step because we can always clean it up later in the next step. What you don't want to do is you don't want to accidentally not get somebody's arm or something. We would rather have a little bit more than not enough. To check, Control X or Edit Cut. Probably want to add a little bit more of that camera right there. I can keep going back and forth until I'm happy. But most of you are going to be able to just go to Select Subject and it does most of the work for you, especially on this practice assignment. All right, once we have her selected, we need to go to Safari, or not Safari, Google on Chrome or Firefox, any of your favorite browsing places. Go to Google and type in anywhere. I picked the Eiffel Tower. You can pick wherever. It could be Canada, it can be Australia. I don't care. Just pick a location. We're going to borrow a picture off of Google. I like clicking on images next. And don't just go with the first one because some of these might be super low resolution and super blurry when you go to put it on the background for this practice assignment. I always go to Tools, Size, Large. That way I have the highest quality pictures available off of Google. I like this one. You can pick whatever you want. Doesn't have to be the same location. Click on it. When it becomes bigger over here, right click, copy image, go back to Photoshop, File, New, ignore all this because it knows what's on the clipboard, hit Create, Image Paste or Edit Paste or Control V, either one, paste it. Now you have your location and you have Hannah over here and she's been selected. I'm going to go to Edit Cut or Control X. We're going to cut her out of that. We're going to go to our Untitled and Edit Paste or Control V. Now she's either going to be way too big or way too small. Sorry. She's probably not going to be the right size for your background just because of the two different resolutions. You're going to go to Edit, Transform, or the shortcut is Control T. Puts a box around her. Hold the corner down and shrink her down. You can move her wherever you want to. Again, it depends on what your background is. I'm going to put her right here. You can place her wherever you'd like, as big or as small as you'd like. Just try to get it proportional. When you're happy with her location, click the check mark. Now you can see there's a little bit of space down here that I need to clean up. I can zoom in. Shortcut is Control plus plus plus. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see that there's a little bit of the original background still under her hands. There we go, by her fingers. I'm going to take the eraser tool, which is this one, click it, teeny tiny mouse selection area. You can change the size of the mouse by looking next to the letter P. There's two brackets. One bracket makes it bigger, one bracket makes it smaller, or you can change that up here. Again, I like keyboard shortcuts when possible. Now I'm just going to erase just that part that I accidentally got too much of. And what's great is when we're on layer 1 and we're erasing, we're not messing with layer 2. We're not messing with the background layer 1 at all. And on yours, I would go through and I would really clean it up. I would do your best to make sure it looks as realistic as possible on this Hannah assignment. Just do your best to make it look pretty decent. Doesn't have to be perfect. Spend much more time on yours. When you're finished, File, save a copy. Now, if you wanted to continue to edit this, I would save as and keep it as a PSD, Photoshop document. But since we're going to turn this in on Schoology, fastest way for me to be able to grade it for you is save a copy onto your computer, choose the first JPEG, and you need to give this one another name, Hannah. Well, I can't spell today. On holiday done, or whatever you'd like to call it, cut out of Hannah done. I don't care, just so you know what it is. Done. Hit save and turn that in on Schoology. But then you're also going to choose your own subject, any human being that you've taken a photo of, anywhere, anytime, any device. You're going to change the background on it, some fantastic location. Take that person on holiday too, and then turn in both of those photos on Schoology today.